Hi Capricorn, happy June. I'm your cosmic auntie, the interstellar storyteller, and this is going to be and this is Liren. This is going to be your monthly general tarot reading for Capricorn energy. And yeah, you may find yourself a Capricorn sun or moon or rising. Maybe there's a specific placement in your chart you're exploring when it comes to Capricorn, or maybe you're really sensing and feeling into your earth energy, or maybe they just came across your page. You have to stay there somehow. And for that, I thank you. I'm really glad you're here. Please stay if you'd like to. You have to chill. My cat is a Cancer, your opposite sign, so just real snuggly. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Before I jump into the cards, Capricorn, maybe you'll just need to like give yourself a hug, or if there's like you have a kitty or a puppy or a pet, maybe that's just something that needs to happen right now. Like just grab yourself a little bit of love. Yeah, before I jump into the cards here, please tune into your intuition, okay? Everyone knows themselves best. You are your own unique being with your own unique experiences. So always tune into the messages, see what resonates, what doesn't. Take what you want and leave the rest, okay, Capricorn? So a phrase came to me as I was tuning the cards to your energy, and it is: the way you celebrate, the way you connect to God is your business and your business alone. If it's not causing harm to anyone, then the way you connect with life, with spirit, is your business. I mean, if it is causing harm, then there is some reflection there, because it is also your business to make sure it's not causing harm, because when you connect to God, it is pure, it is coming home to self often. Well, it is. We are life experiencing itself. We are God experiencing itself. So what does that mean to you, Capricorn? And you're allowed to be individual. You're allowed to connect the way that you feel comfortable connecting. And there's just so many ways to connect to God. Okay, let's see what's coming up for you, Capricorn. Oh, there we go. Capricorn, June. So we have the Page of Swords coming out first. Finding your voice. And practicing using it. Okay, cool. Knowing your mind more and employing those lessons into what you're doing. Okay, we have the Star. Oh no, we have Temperance. Sorry, sometimes I get these two mixed up. Temperance. So there's a methodical approach to the energy so far. Again, like there seems to be like a notion of lessons learned, wisdom like achieved through lessons learned, then employing those lessons, trying things out, speaking up more in ways that you have learned that it's important for you to speak up more around, okay? And with Temperance, it's a methodical process of creating gold. So the alchemist combines different elements in the intention and in the discovery of the elixir to make gold. Now, we all have our own personal gold, right? So if this resonates, you know what that is. And there's this kind of almost young approach, like a juvenile approach to speaking up for yourself a bit more, holding your boundaries a bit more, sharing your truth, your perspective. Cool. What else is coming up for Capricorn in June? You're such a powerhouse, Capricorn. You do things so subtly yet profoundly too, right? You are an energy that is not necessarily always going to move super fast. You can, and you have, and you will. But when it comes to really like shifting and really employing lessons in moving forward, and I hope this makes sense, like you glow up in this way that people who are like, it's not always seen until it's seen. And that's what I'm feeling with this energy, is that there's almost like a sprout just poking from the ground, but it's going to turn into a mighty tree. And through a persistent process, that tree is going to get all of the elements that it needs to continue a trajectory of growth, right? So I'm sensing that here with you. And I love it. You know, and you're very flashy when you want to be, but when you're really doing something, you do it quietly at first. I love that. Okay. Yes, the Hierophant and the Five of Swords. So the Hierophant is all about how you build your own relationship with God, your own structures, your own traditions, your own rituals, your own practices of connection, okay? And the Five of Swords is a card of conflict, battle, right? So I don't know, maybe some of you are experiencing some conflict when it comes to how, I don't know, like in like structures. So maybe you're finding certain areas of worship like having certain like drama, your yoga studio, your meditation group, like however you practice your connection with source and hone that connection and create practices in your life to connect to source. There's some edgy energy there, right? So let's go back to this, the phrase, the way you connect to source is your business and your business alone, okay? So whatever's going on there, let's get another card on that. I also sense too there may be some conflict when it comes to, like, maybe some of you are like leaders in a spiritual community and have some confrontation or some like conflict with when it comes to who's leading or taking charge of the practice. So I don't know, I mean, there's definitely a lot there. So wherever this lies with you, we're gonna get another card on it. So what's going on with this Five of Swords and the Hierophant? We have the Death card, the Three of Wands, the Hermit, the Knight of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups. Okay. So it feels like there's this storyline here of moving away in the past, moving away from what no longer serves, coming into this abundance. Maybe this is the practice, this process. It's like really big and cathartic, and yeah. So moving away from what no longer serves you, and finding solid abundance and structure and support with the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. And like maybe for some of you, if some of you are leaders in your community, maybe you run your own practice of some sort, where however, right, filtering your personal details, however you connect with the source. Some of you who run your own practices or leaders in your community have moved away from, took that step. There's a huge letting go when it comes to turning your head to God more, and creating structures and practices that really focus on that connection, and ways that bring in your livelihood as well. There's a lot of success here. So it feels as though some of you've there's a big life change, you moved away, there's, from that let go, this big letting go, this big moment, and moving towards what emotionally serves you. And this is your practice with source. Okay. And maybe some of you started at that point and it has flourished, it has grown. This is you put a lot of effort into it, charging in whole new directions and taking this into new places that have only grown abundance for you and yours, you and those around you. It influences you in a positive, beautiful way. It supports you mentally, physically, spiritually and emotionally and financially. So there's this this calling, this purpose, and it's bringing a lot of stability, and it has brought a lot of stability. And from that jumping off point, you've taken it in whole new directions, you've grown it, you've stood your ground, you've fought for it, you put so much effort into it. It's beautiful. And this is it's this serious process of action, of taking action on your intuitive impulse, your connection with God, your practice, your skills, your spirituality, and how that influences in a positive way you and around you. You are, I can tell, a very much appreciated leader in your spiritual community. You share a lot, you give a lot, and you receive a lot. And it's this inspiring process, and you're inspired to stand up for it, do it, put your shoulder into it, and be open to all of the places that it could take you. And it fired you up. It's awesome. And with that comes this deep reflective process, right? We have the Hermit here. With this kind of effort, with this kind of connection, with this kind of calling, following your intuition, your ear to life, source, God, and creating this place of honestly, of practice, whatever it is, okay? Creating this place of connection, is consistently inviting you inwards to listen. And from there's these nuggets of wisdom that come forward, and you articulate it, you wrap it up, and you put it into an action potential. Okay. So there's things that you've put out there, and and waiting for your ships to return. There's intentions, there's a growth mindset, there's a trajectory of success, and it's just awesome. And then we get to the Death card and the Five of Swords and the Hierophant, which, you know, kind of shows that maybe some of the things have shifted, right? Sometimes, even though we plan, it can shift, and there's some changes that are needing to be made, or are happening, because the Death card is natural change that we can't really control. So, you know, something's shifted, and it's shifted into this like edgy energy. I don't know if someone is challenging you in some way. But remember the saying, if this all resonates with you, the way that you connect with God is your business and your business alone. Okay? And I guess take what you will from that, is what I'm trying to say. Then it's interesting because my eye came back to these two cards, the Page of Swords and the Temperance card. This process is teaching you, I sense, a lot about your own mind, your own truth, and how to articulate and express that truth and hold your ground. Okay? And there's all of this like information that you're mixing and amalgamating. You know, the Temperance card is combining different elements in order to make gold. So, you know, I sense that is the forefront of like the forefront and the undercurrent of this process. It's kind of like, yeah, edgy and like sharp a bit over here, but nobody can tell you how to do your thing, you know what I mean? And it's absolutely valid to hold true and strong and fortify and protect your space, your effort, your practice, the people that share in that practice, and it's and I can tell it that it's connected to your livelihood as well. So interesting reading, Capricorn. Keep mixing, observing, articulating, you know, forming healthy boundaries, remembering and connecting with that deep relationship you have with God, and the purpose and the calling that you heard and followed through on when it came to leaving behind what was no longer like serving you emotionally. There is something that happened that really like initiated this calling to this practice, and since then there's just been like, it's taken off like wildfire in such a good positive way. So when there is success, there oftentimes comes with confrontation. So remember and just hold strong with your success. Remember, if you're not harming anyone, you're encouraging people, you're just doing your thing and minding your own business, then just remember that, okay? Keep your boundaries strong. Keep like articulating yourself and trying out the new language that you're learning in regards to your perspective on this experience, your perspective in this chapter in your life, and like keeping clear on where it is that you're going next, and knowing full well the ships are coming back in, even though there's this change. There's something that's kind of shifting your mind and your view right now that you have to deal with. And remember that connection with God, okay? Connection with life, the structures, the rituals, the practices that you hold strong with, that is the key to just navigating whatever this situation is, because you will navigate it. You are navigating it. Okay, one more card for Capricorn. What's next? What's going? The Star. It's funny, I mentioned that I mixed up the Temperance with the Star earlier, but the Star is the hope, and that it's all going to work out. Like that is exactly the meaning of this card. This calm after the storm, and this, you know, wish achieved, hope achieved, and a deep sigh. Okay, deep breath, and this like gift. So as we navigate challenging experiences and we hold true to ourselves, as well as being open to learning and adapting, pivoting, changing, expanding, then, you know, when it's over and you're in a whole new place, having, you know, being able to turn around and look at that experience at a distance, it's that breath and that peace, and knowing that, again, going back to that quiet persistence, Capricorn, like sometimes you may look like, you know, I don't know, cool and calm on the inside, but there's so much going on. There's so much that you're figuring out. There's so much that you're shifting. Your powerhouse. You're often a quiet powerhouse at first, and then it's like bam. And I sense that that's kind of what's happening right now. You're dealing with a conflict. You're laying low, dealing with it, holding true to yourself. And again, the star. It's all gonna work out, my friends. And good job on whatever it is that you're building. It's really, and that you've built, and that you've moved towards. Like, this is definitely like a calling, and it's created a lot of stability and joy, I can tell with these cards. So even though this is happening over here, this is all still happening, and you're learning more about yourself and how your mind works. And let's just take one more look at that beautiful card, the star. Because you really are the star, Capricorn. You are the star. Okay, I love you, and I'll see you in July, okay?